So, we usually come on here, just talk about topics, stories that come across our timelines, our desks, and come on here and have deep conversations that a lot of people don't usually have. But after going through the comments of some of our videos, and apologies, I don't respond to all the comments right away, or we don't respond to all the comments right away. I don't, we're all busy here. We all got full time jobs, so sometimes I always get the comments. Just and you can see by this one, this is literally 2 weeks ago. But anyway, so not too long ago, we did a topic. This was during the time of the either the height or just a little bit of afterwards of the Kendrick and Drake battle. We did a topic on Lupe Fiasco's thoughts on Kendrick and the battle, and some of these things. Lupe was essentially saying he doesn't put Kendrick in the top 10. We all enjoy hip hop on here. Whenever an interesting hip hop conversation comes across the topic list, we're gonna go over it. So we did that, edited the video, put it out. That video actually got a decent amount of views and a decent amount of discussion surrounding it, which that was one of those ones I didn't even expect it, but it did. But outside of the actual content of the video, somebody left an interesting comment on the video. We gotta give them a little credit. Them a little credit. Salute to Ty Green Goblin. I think it's the first time we actually are highlighting one of our listeners. Salute to you. They came on our channel and put a comment. Great show. Stop. Everybody stop. Everybody. Not by everybody. It's really me. I'm just joking. Salute to you guys. Some people actually think your content's pretty good. For what it's worth. So they said, great show. Terrible name. Damn, that hurt? Stings your soul a bit when you've been using the title of a show to come on here and give your thoughts and opinions on all these topics. Let me actually get through it all. He said, great show. Terrible name. Don't want to be warmed and filled by a bunch of dudes on the internet. Something to consider. Well, Ty Green Goblin,
I got a lot of ways I want to respond to this.
we absolutely positively have considered it, which is why it's so much so that this isn't the first time. I believe Ace, you may mention that people are wondering, hey, why is your show named that? That's kind of suspect. I've in conversation with people I've had when I'm talking about the podcast, they've asked me about the name and they're asking, oh, that's interesting. That's unique. Why'd you name it that? And I would, first of all, before I even get to it, the name is not in any way like something super obscure that we thought of that comes from our little brains. I'll share a bit of the history. I'll try not to take too long. I don't want this video because I'm gonna make a video. I don't want this to be a super long video. I'm gonna give you the TLDR. So we've been doing this for a good amount of time, and we've had different variations of it. When we started off, we were just doing effectively like draft mock podcasts, just to see what the product would sound like of us, having conversations. And obviously at a certain point in time, we even have a title. We're basically doing like what Joe Budden did back in the day when he was calling his podcast. We'll name this podcast later. We weren't too hyper focused on the title. We were just kind of see if the content could be enjoyable. And through doing that, and I super love how it happened, through just naturally conversations, naturally seeing what our brains and our creativity comes across, we developed a name. That's the TLDR, how the name came to be rather. So with all that being said, I think since the people are wondering, it's time. I'll put a drum roll if we were so professional to say it. If we were professional to have sound effects, but maybe I didn't post. But for all those who are wondering how we got the name, be warmed and be filled, the answer that we are giving tonight is no. I'm not giving it. Yes, I can't, like I've said before, but to be honest, I don't really have any issues with coming out here and explaining it to those who might not know. Because while it was relatively obvious when we first thought of it, it seems like some people just don't really get it. So, yeah, now it's not happening. Sorry. It rejected. Taking it back. But
If I
I'm
didn't
not
already know, I would be so pissed.
but I'm not so cold to say we're never gonna say it. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. We're trying to grow a podcast here. We can't just not tell you guys ever. So, what we're gonna do, unless there's any objections, well, there should be no objections. What we're gonna do is once we hit, this is the part where I'll
Oh
take some consideration.
God.
Once
So
we hit, we'll keep it light. We're approximately at 300. Once we hit 600, 500 more round number. Once we hit 600, because that's the number I was thinking about before this podcast started. We're gonna come out here and tell y'all why we got the name. So,
bro,
if you happen to hear this video, this stream, and you're curious about the name, make sure, and it all kind of ties back to what we were talking about earlier. That's the ironic part. Make sure you what do all the streamers on podcasting and YouTubers say? Make sure you power stomp smash. Click the sub button.
I don't fucking subscribe to this shit, bro. Like,
Well, literally or figuratively.
oh my, both. You making me hate podcasts more than I already do, and I'm doing one right now.
So yeah.
Oh Lord, I can't believe that this is the strat you went with. But I'll just say one thing. If we're not gonna say it, the actual reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Get your mind out of the gutter, and then Ty's name out of comic books and into the Bible. Hint, hint. And we'll leave it at that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Apparently.
Yeah. There you go.
Sad
Bro,
part
I,
is it's
I
such a
feel
good.
I feel
It's
ashamed,
such a
bro.
good. It's such a good name and good story. Like, it's sad that it's really unfortunate that it has this, like, the ability to be misconstrued in such a specifically
If I if
opposite way.
to be very honest and to be very real, if I was not aware of the context, this name would sound crazy, dog. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, this is partially me because I'm always the first to pick up on innuendos, but dog, this name would sound crazy. But knowing the context, it does make sense.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. Like I said, 600 subs. If y'all are down, even if y'all are down to just support, maybe you don't really care about the name that much, we appreciate it, and that's all there really is to it.
I feel tainted right now.
Well,